Hi guys, Lisa Edwards here. Today we're going to talk about speaking with leadership authority. Whether you are currently in a position of leadership and you are having to speak particularly to groups of people, or that is something that you aspire to in your career, you're going to want these tips, so listen up. So number one, you want to avoid any vocal pauses. Again, this is specific to speaking in a group, although I will say that everything I'm going to tell you is applicable in one-on-one conversations or any other kind of sort of official presentations or speaking that you're doing at work. You want to avoid and any other kind of vocal pause. If you use the word like a lot, which a lot of millennials do, or you say any other kind of vocal pause, you want to listen to yourself, get feedback from someone else, but also record yourself. I'm using Zoom to do this. You can do the same thing and listen to yourself and get those pauses out of your vocabulary. Number two, recognize and utilize the power of silence. So as you are giving a presentation, be intentional about when you want to create silence in your presentation. It's very important that this is intentional silence because otherwise it can be very awkward. But think about where can I pause for emphasis, create silence in a way that will kind of drive home a point. Number three, keep it simple. One of the quickest ways to figure out that somebody doesn't really know what they're talking about is they're using a lot of industry jargon. Really great speakers know how to speak to the audience that they're speaking to in words and terminology and language that they will understand. And that same speaker, if he or she is very gifted, will be able to adapt their presentation depending on the audience to whom they are speaking. So really keep it simple, bring it down to kind of its least common denominator and avoid the use of a bunch of jargon. Number four, don't curse, just don't use curse words, enough said. Number five, tell a story. Telling the story is always going to do two things for you. It's going to prove your point better than not. So it's an illustration. It illustrates the point you're trying to make. Number two, a story is always going to kind of cement the point that you're trying to make into the listener's mind. So you're kind of, people remember stories, and I can remember people that I've interviewed from 20 years ago. I don't remember anything about them other than the story they told me in the interview. I attached that story to them. So tell stories. Number five, six, get to the point. Avoid kind of rambling, beating around the bush. Tell them what you're going to tell them and then tell them. The old saying is, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. People will become disengaged if they don't know why they're listening. They can't figure out what the point of the conversation is, so get to it. Number seven, slow down and breathe. Be careful that you're not speaking faster than the brain can comprehend. And taking time to breathe will also relax you and give you a more poised presence in front of your audience. Number eight, use the vocal tools available to you. I have an undergraduate degree in music education, and as a vocal student, I had to learn how to sing louder, sing softer, sing up in my range and down in my range, and use various tools that were available to me. You have those same tools available to you as a speaker. So make sure that you're not coming across as a monotone. You're using all the range that's available to you. It's going to make it more interesting and engaging. Number nine, inject humor and warmth as it is appropriate for your audience, the topic, and your personality. I always think of personality as being a range, and I want you to play within that range. I don't want you to be unidimensional, but I don't want you to go outside of that range to try to be someone that you're not. And if you have zero sense of humor, you might try a little bit of humor in your presentation, but much more than that is going to be very unnatural for you. But do operate within that full range that is naturally you in terms of injecting humor and warmth. And then number 10, stand like a champion. So as you are giving your presentation, you want to have your legs a little bit further apart than your hips. You want to stand like this. So I call this the temple pose, with your hands at your waist. You can't see that right now for me. My hands are at my waist. And this is how I stand when I'm giving presentations. And I can gesture from this point, but I'm keeping them in this neutral place. What I see many women doing is they want to put their hands, kind of clasp them and put them in front of them, which looks like they have to go wee-wee. Guys, you're no better. I have seen so many guys present. They put their hands in their pockets, think about what this looks like, and then they start playing around with their change or their keys while they're talking. Not great. So get those hands out of the pockets, get them out from down below, and be in a neutral kind of power pose as you speak, and then you have a nice neutral place from which to gesture. So I hope this helps in speaking with leadership authority. Hey, if you want to know more about me, I encourage you to schedule a call with me. I can coach you through something that's going on with your job search or your career now. So you can look in the notes to get the URL to my calendar, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.